suppose in women's cycling it's difficult to exactly say what's a pro contract as well, because is a team and a bike pro contract, or is when you get a salary a pro contract? So we'll go with when I first got a good salary, and that was when I signed with the Velo Test team. And I just remember turning up at the first training camp and being like, kind of like a rabbit in headlights, you know. I got a new bike, new kit. We were alongside the men's team. No stone was left unturned. We were really well looked after, and it was an eye-opener, yeah, definitely going to that team training camp. And I think that was one of the first things that made me want to focus on the road rather than the track. Women's cycling has definitely improved while I've been a pro. It's come on leaps and bounds. Even in the last 2 years, there's been massive changes. I think more and more women are getting salaries, and we're getting more and more coverage and more races, so it's going in the right direction. I've had a few injuries throughout my career, a few crashes as well, but touch wood, I've been quite lucky. I've never broken a bone. And yeah, I had a back injury in 2008 going into the Olympics, so I missed Olympic selection. That was quite hard. I had to have 2 months off the bike, but I think those periods of time are actually quite good. You need to kind of sit back and assess whether you're actually still doing it for the right reasons, and you get your focus and your motivation back when you realise that you still want it then. I think from my crash in the women's tour, I came out of it pretty well. I wasn't as injured as perhaps many people thought, and I came off lightly, and I think at that time you just have to accept it for what it is and rest. You can't train when your body's tired, so you just have to accept it. And I was lucky that when I crashed I was in good shape, so I didn't lose too much. Cycling is a big sacrifice, yeah. I don't see my friends and family for long periods of time. I do make that choice not to live at home because I like to train where the weather's good and there's mountains, because it has a positive impact on my cycling. And I think while I'm doing cycling I should do it 100%, because I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I don't want to do 2 things half. And I've got a very understanding friends and family, and they understand that for long periods of the year they're not going to see me, and then when they do I'm not going to want to go out and get drunk and those sorts of things. So it's a small period of my life where I want to give 100% to, and I'll not be doing it forever, that's for sure. We do have quite a few pranks that go on in the team. Our sports director Danny Stam's a bit of a joker as well. So a couple of years ago in the Route de France we tied a load of cans on ropes to the back of his car, like the Just Married thing. So he set off in the convoy and he was like, "What is that noise?" and stopped and thought it was the bikes, and it took him a while to realise that they just had cans behind the car. I think looking back, the advice I would give myself is to focus on the things that I believe in and the people that I trust. I would keep those people close to me, and I would not get too distracted by the amount of opinions that you get given by the cycling experts. It's a little bit like when people are watching football, everyone's an expert. I do it as well, but in cycling it seems a whole lot worse. So I've managed pretty well. I stay very focused on myself and what's good for me, but I would kind of reiterate that fact.